Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Super Negotiate. After such a long time, I finally managed to find one topic which excites me to make a video series. This time, I'm going to teach you token economics. First, let me tell you why it's important. I have been reading about it, and the complexity around so many various LLM models, ChatGPT, Claude, their own subset models, 4.0, 4.0 mini, GPT, and their different kind of tokens and their pricing have created such a complexity around that everyone is scared about cost control aspect. We went through the similar exercise when cloud cost consumption models were introduced. And that's why I think let me just simplify everything. Second most important aspect, I think token economics, the costs can be managed by procurement, provided you know what kind of model, what kind of token needs to be used and utilized where. To give you an example, if you take the flagship models and the latest models all the time versus you optimize the costs, which is the procurement's job, you will end up either paying 6 times higher or on the other side, you can save money. So I'm going to teach you step by step process. I'm also learning along the way. Day one, let's get right into it. So whether you're buying capex, digital platform procurement, etc., everyone is using LM. So you will be required to negotiate. So the first recommendation I have for you, establish token consumption as the new cost category. You're managing energy, you're managing fuel. It's just another cost category that procurement needs to establish as soon as possible. Now, let's get into the basics. Day one, like I mentioned, let's understand what is token. I'm sure you can read the definitions about it, but what I have understood, I have formed something called a rule of three. First, what is a token? Token is a subset of the words. Essentially, 1,000 words translates into 1,300 tokens. So inflate by 30%. That's the first instant of the rule of three. 1,000 words, 1,300 tokens. Now, the second aspect I want you to understand is not all the tokens are same. Two kinds of tokens. One is called input tokens and the second one is called output tokens. What's the difference? Input tokens is something that we feed to the ChatGPT Claude to ask your queries. Output tokens is something that the model will give you as an output. Now, it sounds simple, but this is where the complexity comes in. The pricing of input token is cheaper, and the pricing of output token can be 5 to 8 times more expensive than the input tokens. You have controls on the input side because let's say you can do prompt engineering. There are various ways to ring fence how much information can you send. But on the output side, things are getting more interesting. It's not only what you get as an output. Now, with the introduction of this reasoning model, deep thinking mode, while you are seeing what the model is thinking, you are also being charged 6 to 8 times higher because these are treated as output tokens. There's also differentiation between the real time processing, the batch processing, and so on and so forth. And the cost difference is night and day. So we will get into that, all the aspects as we progress through this multi-series video. But for the day one, I hope you understand why this is needed. What kind of different tokens are we processing? Now, my third learning while I was reading this is 1 million token, which is the standard unit metrics. When you are trying to buy tokens comes across, it's quite cheap. It's less than $1 or so. Right? But what I want to tell you, how quickly that 1 million token will get consumed. In summary, on paper, 1 million token would roughly be 3,500 pages, right? And quite big, right? When you think of it. But what happens is when you're chatting with your LLM model, it's consuming so many tokens because you are not interacting in one go, you're interacting in turns. So, for example, my first message can be 500 token, my second message can also be 500 token. But here's the kicker, the LLM doesn't remember your conversations. Okay, so it has to feed in your conversation one, the response, and then the conversation two. So it all adds up very, very quickly. So in summary, it's extremely token intensive And when you're dealing with procurement, you are dealing with files, Excels, PDF, and the token consumption can become exponentially more. To give you an example, if I'm doing 5 sessions a day and each session I'm just doing chat with my LLM model, taking let's say 10 turns back and forth, I will end up consuming roughly 50,000 tokens. I'll give you this calculation in the article that I've written. But when I'm using a chat with files, Excels, and PDF, those 50,000 tokens can become 250,000 to 300,000 tokens. And when you have, let's say, enterprise user adoption, say you have about 50 buyers on a monthly basis, your single month token consumption alone can run into, I think, about 10 to 15 million tokens. I'll share the exact calculation. So the difference I'm talking about is the token consumption is an extremely important aspect because you're timed and you're charged according to the unit price. So that's the day one. I'll keep continuing. We'll go as we progress into this entire journey. I hope you find this topic interesting. If you want me to cover anything specific, please let me know. But for now, day one, I hope you enjoy the basics, what token is, different kind of tokens, different kind of models. And I'll see you in day two video. Thank you very much.